Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. How was the visit with We Care?
They put me on oh wait, did I man. Okay, let me get this piece by piece because I had a long week. They told me that the office canceled the visit. They canceled the appointment. The HRA office, which is where I get benefits from, who sent me there to begin with, that they canceled the visit. So they told me, and I had checked before, like I left. I didn't check that day, but I checked that week if the appointment was still on, and I didn't receive anything in the mail. But the lady that I spoke with said that they should have sent me something in the mail. They canceled the appointment. They told me at first it was going to be a virtual appointment, and then in the mail, what I got was you have to show up at 9:30 that same day, April 2nd. So I went, and um, whatchamacallit, and what happened was they told me that HRA had canceled the appointment. First I asked them about the virtual appointment. They said that's why they canceled it, because HRA told them that they canceled the appointment. So I went to HRA, and HRA, um, like, I don't know, they didn't tell me anything. They said that We Care had a long waiting list, and that's why my appointment was canceled. Like, they didn't say they canceled the appointment, but they put me on some sort of waiting list for the appointment, so they didn't even give me a new appointment. They just put me on a waiting list, and they printed something out. It took them like a minute to print it out because, like, I don't know, they're like just sort of sending me this way and that way and just running me around town basically. And finally I got them to print it, and it said that I'm like on some sort of tier waiting list, and maybe they do have a lot of people there. I don't even know what their excuse is. Um, but I don't know. It just seems dysfunctional to me. Are you there? Something happened with the microphone. No microphone. Reconnecting. And I can't type at the moment. I don't know why.
Okay, are we back?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. All right, I lost you when you said that you came to the office and then it started to break down. So you can please repeat. What's the story? Do I understand correctly? You came to the office and the lady spoke to you and said that it was canceled.
And she said I have to go to the human resources, the public assistance office to ask them why it was canceled. So I went to the human resources office. They never really gave me a straight answer why it was canceled, but they told me they're gonna make me another appointment. They said something to the effect of they had a long waiting list. When they went to make me another appointment, they just put me on a waiting list. And I was like, okay, are they just trying to send me off because, I don't even have evidence of this interaction? So I got them to print me something out because when they give you an appointment, they print something out. I got them to print me something out that said I'm on some sort of waiting list. And they said, check your mail for another appointment. That's as far as the week air thing goes. So it's sort of like I said, it just seems like dysfunctional to me, like I don't know, cuz like I was standing there with the woman like what am I supposed to do? Like I was arguing with her, but then I was getting mad, but then finally I just turned around and left, and I don't know. That's about it for the week here appointment.
So all of this happened the same day, or you made your walks there twice, once for the We Care office and then for the HR office?
They're different in different places. So like I went to the week here first, and then I went to the welfare office.
Okay. That sounds like a long day here. Very long.
It's sort of also when I'm sitting there, is it delusional? It's pissing me off that these people I just think are not, I don't think they're well themselves sometimes. At the HRA office, not even the We Care office.
I can imagine. I didn't notice, I didn't receive any notifications calling the office of the clinic to talk about our last conversation. Speak to maybe my supervision team or the program administrator. May I ask what happened?
I didn't. I suppose I will. I thought maybe you were gonna do that. I don't know. You know.
No, but you thinking that I'm an agent of whatever sort, it's your complaint, it's your problem here to deal with, to feel uncomfortable around a person and such, and it's your decision to call to someone. Because what am I going to tell them?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you would tell them. I did, however, I did not do that. Like I said, I had a long week. I found in my pants pocket because I did not find that before. Posted that I received an FBI PO to the Civilian Complaint Review Board, but he gave me a defunct address. So that same day, also yesterday, I went back, and he happened to be there, and he gave me a correct address to a division of this of Civilian Complaint Review Board because people give me different places to complain to. So I went and I spoke with an officer there, and he gave me a docket number. He said if I did file online, he gave me a docket number. I don't think I received one when I filed online. So they only asked me for ID. I only spoke to him in the lobby, and I asked the security there if they ever bring anybody upstairs, like what kind of office is this? Because it was like a very strange place. It seemed very uptown, like there was art on the wall, and we only spoke in the lobby, but apparently, like when I handed him my ID, he already knew who I was. They looked it up and they looked my docket number and everything like that. I mean, I imagine if people are stalking me, they would like know already who I am. But this was a formal sort of, actual conversation, like face to face. So he did give me a docket number, and he said also there is a DOI, which is a Department of Investigations, and it seems very intense, because these people. I wonder if they're gonna dismiss me and call me crazy, or if you know they're gonna take what I say seriously. Because I didn't even know that you could find it through 311. Um, so I'm probably gonna write a complaint to them, but I don't even know like what to say. It takes me a minute because this is all disturbing to me. So it takes me a minute to like cohesively, formulate like a plan and write down, my grievances and what I think is at fault here, because I mean it's like a big statement to say that somebody's putting something in your food, especially if like you don't really have faith that they're gonna just jump right in and um, take this evidence off your hands and document it. If they did that, then I would have, more confidence. But nobody's really done that. But I think maybe they think they might believe me because I mean they're having civilized conversations with me. So
I wonder. So, okay, about our work, just to clarify this, my recommendation remains the same to try to change something in order for this to be resultative and having some positive changes in your life. Otherwise, you are not, these services are not mandatory. You are not mandated to have these services. You can not have it and still receive your benefits. I checked it out, it is confirmed. So your worries about not having it.
no, I understand that. It's just I feel like I got caught up with this. I don't feel like I would be functional enough to receive my benefits if it weren't for your services because um I would definitely fuck up their other programs, because it seems to me like this situation, worst comes to worst, oh, I'll be hospitalized. I've been hospitalized before for blatant statements like that the FBI is talking me. So right now, yeah, it makes me sort of sad and you know nervous, like and for my son and my apartment and my pets and everything. But it truly it happened before a long, long time ago. So it's still better than me getting into an altercation with passersby.
I get that, but can you tell me more about the work that you feel, I don't know, is helping you? Something that is making sense, something that is, you see the change, the better change? Because, look, we have, I spoke
Someone
about,
with like rational stability. Okay, go ahead. Talk.
I'm sorry that I sound like a broken record and bring up the same things over and over again. I'm sorry about
Well,
that.
I sound like that too. So
Your diagnosis in the clinic was when you initially were admitted a while ago, 10 years ago. People are changing their needs for certain, I don't know, services or whatever their needs are. It also changes, not in only once in 10 years, but every year, sometimes every couple of years, depends on what's happening. And I'm trying just to understand this. I don't know. It's what would be the correct word? Not the stubbornness, but like you're very sure that you don't want to do this reevaluation.
no, I'll do it. I just haven't set it up yet, because it makes me nervous as well. Like I said, like what if in the course of the evaluation they decide that I need like like serious surveillance or something, and they take me to a hospital or something. That's what's making me nervous, you know. To tell you the truth, because I told you before, like I'm worried about my kids, my pets, my apartment, and I wish that was more stable. But as far as your first question goes, um, I'm talking to someone like it's a learning experience that seemingly has like a secure regimen, like you're like A rational person, you get up in the morning and put your pants on, and I'm having a conversation with a person like that, which is sort of different from a person like me, um, who's struggling, and I don't know, like maybe this is rude of me and mean of me to say. I sometimes I go, oh, I'm not sure if it's because you're more intelligent than me. Maybe it's our luck and just the juxtaposition of the situation. But it helps me sort of understand reality when I have uh you know a conversation, whether in English or in Russian.
Okay, I get that. I get that. Well, those worries, also to clarify, it is not going to be something, as you're afraid of, that what if they decide that something else is needed and they will act on it. This is not going to be like this because, first of all, you probably will speak to the doctor like this online, and they probably also have, not probably, for sure, they have a form. So they will just ask questions like, hey, are you sleeping well? And you can say, no, I probably sleep 2 days a week normally, but other days I have nightmares. And doctor will
Which is true. And like, can I interrupt you? Last night, um, I don't know what, like, I'm guessing it's the whole situation, but again, that could be like according to the status quo, my delusions. One of my neighbors wild out. Like, usually they just vibrate the floor. Someone in 3F vibrates the floor. I don't know why they would do that. And my son noticed it too. If you're standing on the floor starts vibrating. But last night, it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, screaming, and he's ranting something like I couldn't really even make it out what he was ranting, and it's like I don't know, and I don't. That's not my delusion. If I had woken my kid up and said, "Listen, do you hear that guy?" But it was like I have to like hold myself back because I'm angry too. I'm angry. I think it's their fault what's happening to me from coming downstairs. But I have to sit there and like rationalize. No, Ilona, it's a large man like screaming and ranting. Whatever it is, he's baiting you, or life is baiting you, according to people that won't believe me. You know. So yeah, I don't sleep well, and other times I do stay up thinking like I'll be watching TV trying to pretend like I'm normal, and getting myself into the dreamy state of like where I like actually desire like, you know, commercial things, and it's very difficult like this, because I feel like thrown in between those two states, like people want to control me by like, having me be sort of normal and have normal desires, and at the same time like swatting those every time I'm successful in obtaining anything, you know it's gross because I'm actually talking to you about my emotions. It's so gross of me.
What? Why? That's actually why we're here. That's actually what we're here for. To talk about emotions and what causing them and how it's.
You ever think people are over civilized? Like people are over civilized, and that's how like financial mechanics got so evil. People like dosing each other and being underhanded. The weird white collar crime. It's, that man made me think of that because he was pretty raw last night, like beating his chest.
Overcivilized is a good word. How do you think? What define me over? What is overly?
Like people are passive aggressive a lot, and instead of like saying what they mean, you know.
It depends on people. It depends on how they use this. Sometimes yes, sometimes it appears there, but sometimes I would say culturalized also is the case because it would be beneficial for all of the parties of conversation or whatsoever if people are on a similar level, not on the same, but can understand similar stuff.
Yeah, but like also like I like that you said that, but no matter how cultured you are, and we try civilized people, like in government and in power. But it's also, people think like it's really the juxtaposition of your physiological self. Like you could be the most like civilized person ever, but if somebody just physically overwhelms you, there you are, you lost. Like it's like that. And now it's like such confusing times because people used to like I was thinking about it a lot. Oh God, I'm being so gross now because I'm sort of calm, like the space race and stuff. But now everything's just so weird, and happiness is so abstract. I just really get mad at people that are like super financial, and I'm trying to eat food, and just try to have like my basic health needs met, and my kids. And just because, like, I don't know, people get mad at me because I start like, I don't know, getting into like stuff like fun stuff, like video games or something, and it's stupid.
You see, back to my line of, I don't know, defense of you. Whenever this thing that you are afraid of, the reevaluation, will happen, it's timed. It's not a long session. It's like, I think, maybe 30, 40 minutes. So imagine you haven't been talking to them, to doctors, in 10 years, and you have to put everything in 30 minutes. That's how it's gonna go. And another adjustment that I would suggest, I'm not gonna push it, but I would suggest maybe us alternating our day, and for you to consider if you would be willing to come in person. Because sometimes, say Sunday in Bronx, it's pretty calm, and I work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in the office. If I will
just for the evaluation, or just come in person?
no. It's another step. So first is the evaluation.
Oh my God, I really don't want to come in person. I really don't think I can do that.
Why not?
Because every time I ride the train, I feel violent. Like, I don't act on it, but I feel like getting up is, and actually it's funny because like I'm not the strange one, because a lot of people walk around the train talking weird shit or throwing tantrums. But every time I'm on that train, I feel like people are staring at me, and like they're baiting me or something. Like, I don't know, and I think that there's like there's definitely stalkers among them if they weren't all, And I even like I went up to a police officer and I asked him something strange. I asked him, do you know like what the statistic is for FBI agents employed in New York? And he said, no, I don't know. Like, he was like a regular PO because, according to his badge and his uniform. But, like me, I'm thinking things like from the Matrix, like, could be anybody, you know?
Well, that's another reason we need to see if it's possible for you to maybe sometimes be in person. I explain why. If we work towards putting down the anxiety, reducing the symptoms of, like, everyone is an enemy around me, the only way to feel less stressed about it is to see some positive things, is to have more better experiences. I'm not going to say that everything is peaches and cream alone, because it's not. But say some days are quiet, some days are less hectic. There is no school, so there are no kids on the streets, which is also like slowing things down. Yes, trains suck at the weekend schedule. Yes, I know that. But
can we put this off thinking about it? Like, can we try to put this off because it's
just for you to consider, because we need to.
Because me, after my head trip today, like I don't even know what to make of this. Like, I'm trying to get through this conversation, like with you, because like I don't necessarily voice my anxieties. I try to be like far-reaching and pitiful in some ways. Um, but can we put this off for a little bit?
I mean, yes, it's something for you to consider. It's just my recommendations that, I would love for you to consider this stuff. And the reval is important because it's just been very long time. Say, I have a real story. I have clients that were admitted to the clinic like 2 years ago, and they disagree that they have, I don't know, bipolar anymore. They think we've been been talking long enough and they think I'm not bipolar. I think I just have severe depression because we've been doing, questionnaires and we've been talking, and the client realizes that I don't want to live with this label that I am bipolar. I'd rather know something different about me. It is PTSD for sure, and also it's a major depressive disorder. And I'm like, okay, you can bring this to your doctor and ask them why 2 years ago they decided to put you on bipolar. Because honestly, I also don't see bipolar symptoms. I don't know what you said on that interview. And I spoke with this client and they perceived that their diagnosis was changed. It's just for their own feeling of like, I know what's going on with me. Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes people think they have seven diagnoses. And they like, I want to be diagnosed with everything. And I'm like, how is this going to help? So, it's just
I want someone to give me an FBI contract. I don't want to be like diagnosed, but sometimes I just, as much like I don't like it and I feel dirty, like I don't know how to function, you know, in this society. I don't, because I do. I fucking feel violent when I'm on this train. I feel like really sick, and I don't feel good. Like sometimes I feel a little bit like sick, like throwing up on these people. Sometimes I feel like I'm gonna, start a fight or something, and I don't want to because even though I know I'll lose, it's just something in my head makes me feel righteous about um like my privacy, and it just makes me want to somehow validate this, you know?
it gotta be tough. It gotta be tough. But again, my job here, Alona, is to support you in terms of symptoms, in terms of your daily functionality, to make sure that you're still capable to, I don't know, cook food, go shopping, take showers, clean the apartment, homeschool Patrick, and all that kind of stuff. Because when you have more energy, even if you will have a little bit more than you have it now, imagine how life could feel. For real.
But how would I have like how would I do that? If what if they're like they are really stalking me? How would I do that? Because like even if you institutionalize me, like I'll probably like shut up about it for a minute just so I could get out because it's fucking boring in there. But like thinking about it, like do I have even anything? It depends on who's gonna watch my apartment, my child, and my pets while I'm out. Do I even have anything to go back to? Because I'm like so sure that these neighbors like are out to like get me, and I don't even like I don't know, but I would possibly like I would just keep talking the way I've been talking to the POs. Like I would talk to the new psychotherapist or whatever, or the new psychologist or whatever, and tell them the same thing that why lead me so far down the rabbit hole.
You talk to the same person? Is there a person of contact that you can reach out or send emails whenever something occurs that is bothering you?
No, I got a docket number. I saw POC ago again at 26 Federal Plaza, and this PO lieutenant, not PO, Lieutenant Yusuf spoke with me. Um, but I can imagine, like, if you're sitting there telling me you're a busy person sometimes, I can imagine they're that much busier because it's like, there's like a lieutenant and a PO. So, like, for them to be evasive is like, whatever, you know? So, like, sometimes the fact that they're even talking to me means that they sense that there's something, like, wrong, Because, like, as much as, we're supposed to think like rational, like robots or whatever, they also tell police their gut or whatnot, and maybe they actually are lying and they do have a statistic on how many FBI agents work in the city, and maybe they see the problems that I see, and that sort of um it makes me feel good and nervous all at the same time, if you can understand that, because like the more you have to lose, the feels, the more heavy
Of
your
course.
responsibilities feel. Same silly thing about this apartment. Like if I leave it unattended, like I actually have like a keyboard in here and a PlayStation and a vacuum cleaner, which kept breaking before. Why would a vacuum cleaner break that fast? You know? And I hate bed bugs and I hate viruses and I hate all these weird little things um that people use on me and I can't see them, you know? And it's just like I it feels like more burdensome, you know? Um but at the same time, like I want to have a better life. I want to get better. I see Patrick's needs are growing and I want to grow with them. I want my abilities to serve him as a mom to grow with them. And I'm not sure I know how to do that, you know? And I feel like it's on you, like what you gonna say, but I don't know. Because I'm also telling my friend this. Like every day I text him like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck.
Whenever we talk like this, it's very like, oh my god, and I'm about to sneeze to confirm it. You know how like Russians we have when you когда чихаешь, говорят точно, что это подтверждает. Oh, yes. Whenever we talk like this, I can only imagine the heaviness of this burden. I can only imagine how tired you are. This state, feeling and knowing that someone's following you, your life quality is not as great as it was. Having a kid, being a single mom, fighting all those authorities, being worried about your living situation. That all honestly sucks. I don't know how are you not doing kickboxing or running marathons yet, because usually people try to express it with something physical, like lifting heavy weightlifting, something
What do you
kettlebells.
mean? That sounds absurd.
Because no, because imagine how do you express this anger? You cannot yell at them. You cannot yell at your super. I mean, you can, but it's not going to solve the situation. It doesn't mean though that the anger is not there.
That's what I'm saying. Because like the way I rationalize it is not necessarily the way my oppressors rationalize it. You know? Because maybe they don't see what I carry within me, what I have been through before, and and my judgments are based on that, and it's arguable to what extent you offer your trust and confidence in others, you know? So I feel very caught in the middle, you know?
What about trusting in yourself? If you can do something good for yourself, because look,
Never. I have to watch myself.
why?
Because then if I like trust my like emotions, like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk up to somebody and like spit on their shoe or like start winking at them or something like that. And it's it's sort of I feel like like people around me may behave like that, but they're at a different social status than me. So maybe like someone informal, I could do that with. Like I do have friends, but now they're trying to avoid me because they see that I've grown this confidence that I am mad and I'm gonna act as informal as they have been, you know?
I mean, no jokes. Anger is a very powerful emotion, and that's why navigating it and putting it is your benefit. Anger is the most
Yeah,
helpful.
but also you need to guide it. Like who am I angry with? You know? I'm angry with like sometimes I'm angry with the ATM. I'm like, fucking ATM. Why is it pump out money for all these
But you see
losers
how it
with these
grows.
little cards, but not to me?
You see how it grows. It starts with something that you didn't express to a person. I don't know, your friend. Being pissed at Patrick's dad that he is like nowhere to be found when he most needed, just for functioning. And all of this is piling up, and then you end up being mad at ATM. Imagine if you would have an outlet for it.
for being
It's
mad
just
at
not going to
18 a.m.
stored in your body, this anger. You see,
I do, but it's also like I try to be civilized and I try to like I try to like again like what I said before is true. Like I try to see like why what is it that made me different, and I keep coming back to it's just like the like I feel sometimes I feel not angry but depressed because I see that it's so overpopulated. So sometimes the fact that I'm angry makes me more functional. It gives me like a goal, you know, something to do. Because when I start like soul searching and trying to like efficiently put blame, yeah, for a moment I'll go this fucking idiot. But then I realize this idiot is an idiot and they suffer from it themselves. They suffer being an idiot, and especially if anybody knows about it when they figure it out that, you know, oh my god, ew, why are you yelling in the middle of the night? Um, you know, that's sort of embarrassing, you know, and then I come back to is it it's that overpopulated and I'm that unlucky, and it's I start thinking weird things like, oh my god, like there's I don't know. Like I start watching like crime TV and stuff, and it makes me like, oh, I see, oh, I see. I don't know, whatever, you know. But you're right about the focusing your anger thing because that's what makes me like sort of address these issues like more diplomatically with words and not like you know
yeah,
like
because
blaming.
when this heat is over, when this is kind of like, okay, I'm done. I don't feel like this anymore. It gotta be all of the emotions gotta be acknowledged. We can't just ignore them for years because
What?
that's why people go to therapy and then they have a thousand, requests. How do I do this? How do I work with that? There is no easy way
Like
to
for a
work.
minute, like I'm gonna interrupt you for a minute. What if somebody put something in your coffee and you knew they did it? Like, how would that make you feel? Like, for a minute, just believe me. Like, please. Just for a minute, just believe me. Because some people do believe me for a minute without thinking, oh, could be something else. What, for a minute, what I'm saying is true.
Okay.
Because
I'd
it's
be,
become
I
so
don't know,
casual. It's so gross.
I'd be horrified. I'd be angry. I'd be very unsatisfied, and I'd probably be suspicious to everything I drink, and start, developing this like fixations on like, all right, who opened this bottle? Who opened this box? Who did this? Who did that? Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, and then if it keeps going, it's like you're like a dog. You get used to it, and now you just like a dog, you like avoiding getting like punished by this coffee or whatever. Like dogs, if you hit them for like doing something, they'll try to not do that. So now I'm like, oh, well, no coffee, and then I start looking at all these people a little bit like they're different because they're not being punished, you know, and I'm being punished, and I think it's um not through any civil law. It's just because I lost my privacy. And if we were to investigate the oh, you know, what if other people are really gross and like they have like gross hobbies or something, or like I don't know, like they masturbate or something, you know, or are we gonna punish them? Like it's sort of like ill, you know, and then I get depressed. Like I get depressed, and I don't know. Like I've been just sort of like hanging around watching like crime TV, but I get really disturbed with this. I because I've turned into a lesser animal, and sometimes I'm not sure I'm capable of keeping in reality myself or my kid from harm. Because the thing is, if this were true, like in the doses that they put shit in my coffee in, we have survived. But say somebody, because these are idiots that that don't follow the law miscalculates, and some other things attribute, like maybe you're already not feeling well and somebody decided to dose your coffee with some more shit, you get really sick, it's sort of always looming on me, this. And it's always making me sort of think, ew, really, people have faith in, like, in all of this, and why, when, like, you know the police won't even investigate who's putting shit in the food.
Look, I just want to give you a heads up that our time's up, and I wanted to ask, how does it feel? Because you were expressing it twice today, three times even, that, oh my God, I'm talking about my feelings. But how does that feel to allow yourself actually talk about something? Something which you're feeling, something that is in there in you. How does that feel?
I feel good talking about it, but I want to shift to something else, to something more casual. Like, I want to focus on, um, like, things that I enjoy, and maybe like being skillful at something, instead of just always fighting this one problem that won't go away. I want to focus on something skillful, you know, or maybe have a social life, like maybe have a boyfriend, you know, that sort of thing.
Well, let's continue talking about it next week then, because look, when it's you and I, when we're aligned and thinking about this in the same direction, like what to do, what steps you can take to improve quality of your life, and how can I help you with that, I'm here for it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you for today, really. I truly appreciate you sharing. I understand it wasn't easy. I understand you don't do it every day. And I want you to know that I truly appreciate it.
Well, thank you, because I prefer sort of casually conversating, because I don't like yelling, screaming, and pointing and stuff.
Yeah. Take
Okay.
care.
Take care. And I don't mean that guy from downstairs, because obviously I'm not him. He probably has some sort of deal that I don't understand.
Okay. All right. We'll talk next week. Bye.
Okay. Take care.